Guys, welcome to this unboxing video. Please do remember that my content, whether it be this unboxing, which is thanks to the help from the French Open, or the fact that I stream live events from all over Europe, comes to you thanks for the support I receive on patreon.com. So please do consider going over to patreon.com and dropping $1 a month or whatever you want to give there. It makes a big deal, and it's becoming a lot more, I'm becoming a lot more dependent on it to be able to bring you some of the best tournaments in the world. So once again, that's patreon.com/First Earth. The link will be in the description. And now let's get on with the unboxing. Also, please do note I've not put ads on these videos, yeah, because the Patreon is what supports me. Hey, and welcome to this special unboxing video here that we've got. I was very lucky that this weekend I've just come back from the French Open in Paris, and as a token of thanks, the organizational team there, where the commercial team for Asmodee France and Final Fantasy Flight Games France were also present. They gave me the new expansions that they had on hand as a kind of a showpiece, and they said, listen, for your thanks for all your help, you can take these home. So I asked them if I was allowed to get them open and spoil them. They said no at first, but then they've checked Monday and they sent me an email later saying that, yeah, no problem, go ahead, share what's inside those boxes. So let's move straight on to the TIE Reaper. Now obviously we've got 2.0 elements inside this box, and obviously it's a French expansion, yeah, Les Jeux de Figurines. Okay, so the cards are going to be in French, but I've come up with a hand little tool to help us get around that. And let's just open this up now, and we'll just slide out. First, we want to have a look at the miniature before we get into all the meaty stuff. And obviously, this isn't one of the more interesting ones because it comes with the fact that it's a small base ship in 1.0, and then when we get into 2.0, it's going to be a medium based ship. And looking at the size of this thing was just kind of crazy when I saw it on display. It's stuck in there. The cockpit's jammed in real nice. Hang on. Let me see if I can squeeze it. Whoa. Still in one piece. It's not broke. Oh, so I can pick it up off the floor. It's okay. It's okay. Look. See? I told you. It's okay. So yeah, do be careful with that when you get it. It's really jammed in there really hard. And it's got like these bits on the side to squeeze your fingers into. But no way am I trying to lever a ship out by its sides like that. No way. It would be even worse. And more I just snap the wings off. So anyway, let me angle this camera down a little bit as well so I can get a bit more of a better shot of it on the peg. There we go. Okay, and we're going to need the pegs, which are going to be the pegs and the bases, which are going to be in here. So let's just quickly spill out some of the contents that we've got here. So there's our base. There's our small base. Let's take a look at that. So just to give you an idea straight away of the size of this thing in comparison to the base, I'm not even going to put pegs on it. I'm just going to slot it straight onto the base like this, and you can just see how big it is compared to the base. Yeah, I think it's even longer than the silencer is. I've not got a silencer here to compare with, but yeah, I mean, if you look at it straight on like that, you can't even tell there's a base under there. Yeah, it completely eclipses the base. Let's take him back off and put a couple of pegs on there and just give you an idea of what it looks like when it's running properly. One peg, two pegs. That's not on properly. There we go. Now this one. There we go. And the Reaper just going to slot on top, like so. There we go. And that's what it looks like on the small peg in first edition. Okay, so it's got like a really nice touches to it. Like I like this this kind of the same kind of hatch that TIE fighters have on the back, on the top of them. Yeah, for being able to look out the rear. These wings are completely static due to this joining bit across the back here. There's no movement there like there is in the Strikers. I like that new bridge design. Drives me crazy. Try and make sure I keep it as close to the center as possible for the focusing. And yeah, underneath the detail, It's pretty awesome. It kind of looks like, look at that. Ignore the wing bits. It kind of looks like a new Solo, the Solo story, um, Millennium Falcon, a little bit for its shape. Yeah, kind of like a rounded shape and coming towards a point at the end. But pretty cool. I like it a lot. It's got some really nice detailing in there in the panels. And I guess those would be the drive engines, the back there. I can even imagine like this section on the back here, just kind of slotting down like a boarding ramp, just kind of dropping down. It looks awesome. I really like it. It's huge though for its base. Yeah, that's what it looks like on the small base. And we've also got here, where is it right now? Oh, here it is. I was looking at it and thinking that's a large base. Here's the medium ship base. Okay, so there's your medium ship base alongside. Okay, that's with the nubs up against each other. Okay, and if we just put them kind of so they're edged together, let me just use my large base, but to make them push them up against each other so they're the same kind of. There we go. That's what it looks like in comparison to the medium base, right? And here's our little adapter kit, very handy. Let's slot these two pegs together. Put them in there. There we go. Let's just kind of leave him off here as quickly as possible. Not easy to get them off those pegs in a hurry. A number of times swapping people's bases over, I've done some damage to a ship. I don't want to tell you. So that's what it looks like on the medium base. A lot more in proportion, as you can see. Yeah. And you know what? Just for fun, just so you can see what it's like. Just the other option that would have existed in first edition would have been a large base, and that's what it would look like on a large base. I think I've got it the wrong way around. Either that or it's an epic peg. Come on. Oh gosh, won't go on. So obviously I'm rushing to get this video done, so I'll just hold it on there. That's what it would have looked like on a large base, kind of like an IG, yeah, in size, more or less. I could get out the IGs, but I'm not going to go that far down the rabbit hole right now. We'll just put him back onto his medium base peg. No, wait, there's something else I wanted to talk about quickly with regards to this medium base in this video, because there's not so much content as in the Swords Renegades one. Is one of the things to bear in mind is so when we look at the small base, okay, front to back, that's somewhere just over 40 millimeters. Oh, I've got it in bit. There we go. So 40 millimeters. The light's shining on that there. Okay. If you do it side to side, bases are a little bit wider because of the beveled edges. Okay. So pulling that in there. Well, actually looks like it's smaller. What's happened there? Yeah, it comes out a little bit smaller like that. Let's try that again. Maybe I've got the nubs in it. It wasn't straight. Yeah. So there you go, about 40 millimeters. Small bases isn't that much of a deal, the difference on the bevels on the sides, but when you get into large bases, it's quite a big deal. So let's take a look at the large base, slot it in there, and you can see, if you just take a look at that there, we come up to just 1 millimeter under 80, so obviously my ruler's a bit dodgy. Not very, it's because it's supposed to be in these bits here. Look, here we go. Right, so I've got to try and keep it flat. So, there you go. 80 millimeters, and then side to side, keeping it as flat as possible, goes up to 82. See? That's because of these beveled edges here. Yeah? Right? They actually spin out about 1.5 millimeters. And that makes it so that the edge, the base isn't perfectly squared. Now I've had people try to tell me that's because my bases aren't manufactured correctly. They were like a defective batch. So just going back to the original ones, try and get it in nice and flat. Maybe this is a defective one because it does definitely seem to have like a bit of a lip on it. So I won't go too far into the small bases. The small bases, on the small bases, it's a negligible difference anyway, but on the big bases. And this is the medium base, right? So the medium base coming in, make sure I got it about the right, it's about as flat as I can make it. Just over 60 millimeters. If we go lengthwise, about the same, so maybe not too much difference there. They seem to have definitely shallowed out the bevel on the medium base. But that's one of the reasons why you can't, someone was posting on the forums today about being able to do maneuvers sideways by lining up with a little notch mark, and not really a good idea because there is a slight difference on the width of the base compared to the length. Try it at home, get your bases, especially large bases, get your 2 straight template, put it in between the 2 guides like that, yeah, and feel it between your fingers, and then move it sideways and do the same, and you'll notice there's definitely a difference. So yeah, not a good idea to go down that route. I mean, on Vassal, all the bases are perfectly square, and so it can cause, like, when you practice your maneuvers too much, it can cause you to think that, like, you've got something worked out when they get very close enough together that the auto bump on Vassal doesn't register, but in real life they would bump, and also in real life you've got a little bit of a margin of error and give anyway. So, like, even if you are placing your templates well, it might be a little bit too suspect. So let's move on. We've got here, you've got the 2 little dial axles. 2 of them because we've got 1st edition as well in here. So let's move, 1st edition and 2nd edition I should say. So let's move on. Now, virtually all the content in these packs is spoiled, except for, in the case of the Renegades, the pilot card for the generic U-Wing, and 1 systems upgrade. And in the case of the Reaper here, we've got a modification that's not been spoiled. That's what we're looking at there. We've got Major Vermeil and Captain Farof. Okay, so this has all been a bit loose when it's been cut, and they were just kind of falling out for me. Everything's been revealed, the dial, all that sort of stuff. So that's what you've got as far as card stock is involved. Let's move that stuff down here and out of the way of the other camera I've got later for cards, and go on to the cards. So yeah, just to show you the contents, and then we'll focus on the stuff that's not been spoiled. You've got Major Vermeil, Captain Farof, Vizier, and the Scarif-based pilot. Okay, like I say, this has all been revealed, so no point focusing on that too much. Yeah, this is just to show you what comes in the box, the contents. You've got, let me see, what do I need to look at here? I need to put that aside. Okay, 2 tactical officers, 1 ISB slicer, Director Krennic, Death Troopers, I should say, takes up 2 crew slots. Systems officer, 2 of those, decoy. The optimized prototype to go with Director Krennic. Move that over there, there we go. And last of all, the ailerons avancés, the advanced ailerons. Okay, that's the entire contents as far as cards go, except for the 1 card that's not been spoiled, which I'm going to put on screen for you now. Let me move over to this other camera I've got. Multispectral camouflage. Petit vaisseau uniquement. Modification. Après avoir reçu un marqueur d'acquisition de cibles rouges, si vous en avez qu'un seul marqueur d'acquisition de cibles rouges, lancez un de défense. Si vous obtenez un résultat evade, retirez ces marqueurs d'acquisition de cibles rouges. Okay, so as plain as day, right, guys? No questions there, right? Luckily, I was prepared for this. It's all in French. No one's got any idea what that stuff says, except I prepared this for you. Multispectral camouflage, small ship only modification. After receiving a red target lock token, red target acquisition marker, if you only have 1 red target lock token, roll 1 defense die. On an evade result, remove that red target lock token. Okay, so this is obviously going to be, it's something that's conditional in that you can only have received one. You can't have already had a target lock on you. So the first target lock you get, you can spin. If you manage to get the evade, you take it off. Then another target lock you can roll. Get the evade, you take them off. So it kind of gives you, obviously the evade die has not got 4 evades on it, it's got 3. So it's not 50-50% chance, but it's getting close there. About halfway between 25 and 50-50. So 42.5, no, 37.5. 37.5% chance of removing a target lock when you get it, the first one. But then once that first one, that roll fails, that target lock stays, and from then on, this card isn't going to be any use. Okay, obviously it's only 1 point. It's small ship only. There's no limitation for factions, so you can put this on any small ships. So that could be some use to you, and it is unique, so only 1 per list. Okay, so take from that what you will. Obviously, something like Vader is going to be a perfect counter to this, where once he manages to get a target lock on you, he's not going to take it off, and then everybody else on his list will be able to target lock you. Okay, so several things to consider there, stuff to keep in mind. It's a cheap upgrade. It goes on all small ships, so it could be useful. It could have a lot of uses going forward. Especially good for avoiding missiles and stuff like that, which I suppose is what they've done in the card art there. They've tried to put like a proton torpedo on. So yeah, multispectral camouflage. Pretty cool. Okay, and so that's it as far as the TIE Reaper is concerned. Going back to the other camera, we'll just see that we've got, oh no, of course, 2.0 stuff. So you've got your rules leaflet in it, which is pretty standard. Yeah, explains all the content, what else you need. It got a little text here explaining that there is also content for 2nd edition that can't be played only with what the expansion contents. The standard text explaining the stuff that's unique to this expansion that might not have been in a core set before. The zero maneuver and your maneuver guide and how to do a signals loop there. Okay, and the credits. Yeah, lots of play testers on this, lots of familiar names. So let's get on to the 2.0 stuff. Move all this aside. 2.0, where's that packet gone? There it is. Comes in a separate sealable bag, the 2.0 stuff, so it doesn't get mixed up at all. Okay. Once again, the entire contents of this expansion for 2.0 content has been spoiled already. So there's nothing new here. It's just a question of just looking at it, seeing, making sure that you do get it, and being aware of it. So you get like this little kind of a contents leaflet that explains what material should be in here, how to put your dial together, and for more information go to the Fantasy Flight Games, or in the case of the English expansion it'll be xwing.com for the expansion information. Okay, just basic, simple, 2 pieces of cardstock, yeah, Major Vermeil, is here, and that's what it looks like. One of the things I'll say about this new dial design is that I wish what they would have done was put this little thing here which shows you which ship it belongs to, the dial, TIE Reaper, they'd have put that here instead of on the back, so that when anyone asks, whenever you have to check a dial, you know that it's the dial for the ship you're talking about, because there's nothing to stop you just separating this piece of cardboard and putting it on, I don't know, this is a bad example. So let's say I take a TIE Phantom dial and I put it on the TIE Reaper front, and because there's nothing on here to say really what it is, a less experienced player might not even realize that that's not the right dial. So I really wish they'd have put a bit more effort into making sure that this was clearly marked which dial this bit belongs to, so that there was no question in a tournament setting that makes sure there was no room for doubt about somebody doing something. Like I've had situations where a K-wing and an Azituk dial might have been switched round, something like that. So the cards are, once again, all been published, so nothing new here. Scarif base pilot, Captain Farov, Major Vermeil, and Vizier. All have been published on the Fantasy Flight website already. Swarm Tactics, yeah, has all been published on the unboxing video. 2 copies of Swarm Tactics, 2 copies of Duke, Put these up here so you can keep it all on the same shot. There's the condition card for optimized prototype. Yeah. There's Director Krennic. A tactical officer. 2 copies of that. Death Troopers. And 2 copies of the ISB Slicer. Whoops. Like that. Okay. 2 copies of the ISB Slicer. Yeah, that's the entire contents. There's nothing else left in there. Okay, that's it for the TIE Reaper. Okay, so now I'm going to do a separate video for the Source Renegades pack, where there are a couple of surprises in there and a few more reflections on the 2.0 content. So please do join us in the next video, which will be going up as soon at the same time as this, and we'll see you there. And if anything else you need to know, that's it from me. Goodbye.